Over the last 12 months, the housing market has really evolved, and it's become, in my view, a tale of two generations. We have the baby boomers versus the millennials in their own version of the housing market Hunger Games. And guess who's winning? Well, I'll give you a hint. It is not the millennials, and there's a variety of reasons behind that. We're going to unpack it in today's article. We have a severe shortage of homes in this market, which means that cash reigns supreme. And of course, the baby boomers have more wealth than millennial homebuyers today, and so they're winning this war hands down. And according to this article, the percentage of millennial and first-time homebuyers actually plummeted as they were confronted by record high home prices, raging competition, and an influx of all cash offers. Meanwhile, baby boomers went on a buying spree. Many of them traded one home for another, using the proceeds from their sales to purchase the next piece of real estate. And some were able to do so without a mortgage, which created another substantial advantage as they were making offers on these potential properties. According to Jessica Lutz, the National Association of Realtors Vice President of Research, many millennials could be looking at their boomer parents with a little bit of envy this year because they were able to purchase their dream homes when millennials weren't even able to find a home to compromise on. Now, I will say that I have actually seen this dynamic sort of play out in the market over the last 12 months, but I would argue and push back just a little bit because this makes it sound like, the poor millennial, they just can't survive in today's market. And in my view, that is simply untrue. If you're a millennial home buyer in today's market and you're well positioned financially and you're determined to purchase your first home, then a lot of times you just have to get out there and make multiple offers and get in a position where you can succeed with the right people on your team. And then taking it a step further, the baby boomer generation overall, yes, they do have more wealth, but they've earned their stripes. They've put in the time, the energy, and the effort. They should have more wealth overall than millennials do today, which would put them in a position where if the market goes in their favor, they're able to capitalize on the opportunities that are in front of them. And that's obviously what I would like to see for not only the baby boomers and the millennials, but all generations. This report was based on a survey of nearly 5,000 participants who purchased a primary residence over the last 12 months. And it talks about who are the home buyers in today's market. Well, it says that baby boomers became the largest home buying group, closing on 39% of all U.S. homes. And that was actually up from 29% the year prior. That's according to the National Association of Realtors. This is a really massive increase and a testament to what we just reviewed. Millennials actually closed on 28% of all residential transactions, and that's down from 43% the year prior. But before we go crying the blues for millennials just yet, which is myself included in this group, this was actually the first time since 2014 that millennials did not make up the largest percentage of buyers. And it goes on to cite that some of the reasons millennials have been struggling is because of rising rents, student debt, and childcare costs, which of course over the last few years dealing with inflation, these expenses have gone up dramatically. And then if you combine that with higher home prices and rising mortgage rates, it obviously makes achieving home ownership even more financially challenging. First-time home buyers also dipped to about 26%, and that's down from 34% from the prior year. And it's actually the lowest percentage that the National Association has ever recorded since they started collecting this data back in 1981. And further, Jessica Lutz says that boomers have the money, they have the housing equity, and they were able to win out on multiple bid situations by either paying all cash or putting down a significant down payment. That's definitely the area where the baby boom generation really was able to excel when the environment was extremely competitive. So when we think of negotiating the terms to get into contract and purchase your first home, in my view, it comes down to two things. We have to negotiate price and we have to negotiate terms. And if you can separate the two and figure out where you're strongest, that's going to give you a substantial advantage in this market. So in addition to negotiating price and terms, you want to consider defining your criteria up front or putting together what we would call a buy box. And shout out to Mike Zuber with OneRentalataTime. If you haven't seen his YouTube channel, you definitely should. He tailors his content towards the investor, but I think any first-time home buyer should take a look at what he's talking about as well. He talks a lot about a buy box, and basically what that is, it's just defining the criteria of the home that you want to purchase. So pick out a location, figure out how many square feet, what kind of return you're looking to get, how many beds, how many baths, what school district is it in. Whatever is important to you, put it on that list, define that criteria so that when those deals start to come up on the market, you're able to act with urgency. If you put yourself in a position where you're already pre-approved with a mortgage professional, you're working with a real estate agent, you guys have defined a strategy to negotiate price and terms, and then the right property comes up, you'll be able to jump on that property very quickly, make your offer, and put your best foot forward. Now, it may not happen the first time, maybe you lose out on the first couple offers, but eventually you will put a property under contract and it will allow you to close on the home and hopefully get a great deal. That's gonna wrap it up for today. If you enjoyed the content, please hit that like button, subscribe, and consider sharing it as well. It really helps grow and promote the channel. And with that, we'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Take care.